I'm Gray, and I am transgender. I am a trans guy, which means that I'm a boy who was assigned female at birth. I know you can't see it, I'm very small and delicate. About a year ago, I would not have been able to come up here and say that without crying. Was not always so comfortable with that aspect of myself. I used to think that being trans may be really disgusting and unlovable. And because I'm like this, that I would be alone forever. And the thing about it was that I got proven right a lot. It was never the fact that I'm weird, or opinionated, or hate watermelon. That is true, I do not like watermelon. It's never those facts that would push people away. It was always when they found out I was queer. I actually figured out I was trans about a year ago, so not that long. I was 14, and I'm kind of having a bit of a gender crisis because I kind of realized that being deeply uncomfortable with your body after puberty was maybe not a normal thing. I didn't know that being trans was a thing until I was around 12 or 13, when I found the trans community online. And what really led me to actually question my gender was I went through a phase of really trying super hard to be a girl, and made me feel awful, of course. So I took a step back, and I thought, you know, maybe if you're trying to perform being a girl that hard, you aren't one. Theoretically, a girl doesn't have to try to be a girl, she just is one. Didn't want to be trans at all, because, well, I had been given this idea by society at large that if you were trans, you were a failure to your family and God. So I was really trying to find any evidence that I wasn't trans so I could just stuff away this uncomfortable feeling and just ignore it for the rest of my life. I am not subtle, so of course I don't take subtle jokes. I don't take subtle messages. So it kind of took me like a real slap in the face to get me out of that whole thought process. Yeah, so that was the first time I heard God speak. I was on a bus heading back from a day at the lake with my camp. I was staring out the window, you know, wrestling with my thoughts, just being uncomfortable, like you do. And I heard God speak. All I can describe it. All I heard was, "You're not a girl," and then nothing else. My first response to that was actually relief, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, thank goodness, I can finally stop pretending. This is exhausting. I don't like it. My second response was, oh no. Because discovering this one small aspect cracked up at a lot of issues. The first being that I live in the Bible Belt, and it's a vast oversimplification. A lot of people don't believe I should exist. I'm also in high school, which is a yikes. And then the next thought that came up was, okay, so if I felt all this release and not having to pretend to be something anymore, how much of my personality is faked? How many other things am I lying to myself about? Who am I really? I know most teenagers go through that phase, but for me it was really an extreme sport. Yeah, I really knew about how hard the next year was going to be. Was not excited. The first people I told were my closest friends at the time. I was really looking for acceptance and guidance because this was a pretty scary thing. Unfortunately, they were not accepting. And I lost them about a week later. And I really did take it hard. Not having any friends, and basically having to survive on my own in my first year of high school was pretty scary and hurt a lot. My anxiety got really, really bad as a result. I was really afraid to walk into school. I was afraid to stand out. I was afraid to join a club. I was afraid to look people in the eye. I kind of lived with constant fear. I woke up and I felt the buzz of anxiety just start right in my chest. And I felt that the rest of the day, and it didn't go away until I slept. It was like that for a while. I had not accepted myself as trans yet. I knew I was, but I just hadn't accepted it. I had internalized transphobia, and I had to deal with that. You turn on a movie, there's a joke about a man in a dress. You go on YouTube and the first video that pops up is one titled, my girlfriend is actually a man. One other kid comes out as trans at school. And the group of people you hang around with call them queer, faggot, it. When everybody around you says that this it is undesirable, disgusting, and broken, you kind of believe that about yourself. I was not very kind to myself during that year. I believed that I was disgusting and unworthy of love. I believed that it was all my fault, that anything bad happened to me. It's all my fault that I looked this way. It's all my fault no one liked me. It's all my fault my friends left. And it wasn't true, but I really had to deal with that as well. I lived with this fear and this self-hate for a while. My grades really started to drop because I had no energy to try and focus on the lesson, which made things feel 10 times worse. I felt really hopeless, so I decided to join a Bible study at the church. Maybe meet some new people, find a community. That was a mistake. If I told you I wasn't expecting it, I would be lying. things weren't all bad, though. I got to know a couple people. I got to know the leader quite well, actually. And I was feeling better. So I kept going. Till one day, when I walked in, and the leader said we were going to talk about LGBTQ issues. I should have walked out right there. But me being me, I did not. She started off by outing me to the whole group without my permission, saying that you could love gay people but not love their lifestyle, comparing me to an alcoholic, and then saying that gay people could be in a relationship, just never hold hands, kiss, or say I love you. It was a lot to handle. I was never upset. And the thing about it was, I was not sad, but I was very, very angry. This woman had taken all this trust that I had built in her when we had gone out for coffee, or I had stayed back after a lesson to talk, or every little card that she'd given me saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of you." She took all of that and then threw it in the dirt, stomped on it, and smiled at me. I just left, and I have not been back to a church since. I began having a lot of, I would call them religious issues, questioning pretty much everything. I didn't know if I wanted to continue being a Christian or calling myself a Christian, because these group of people did not seem to want me. I just couldn't understand why, but it really hurt. I did not question my belief in God, probably because I had heard him that summer, but the people that had followed him hurt me deeply, and I had to learn how to forgive. This period of my life, full of sadness, did not last forever. Felt like it, but it wasn't forever. Things changed immediately after that school year ended. The day after school, I went to my first Pride parade in Lethbridge. I remember we got to the parade and we were standing on the side. Say we, I mean me. Yeah, I'm 3 people, by the way. I was watching all these floats go by, and I just started to cry. There were so many people here, and they were all here to support each other and to celebrate. And I felt like I had become part of something bigger. Give me a second here. It was community that I had been missing for so long. And it was beautiful. That's all I can say about it. It was beautiful. There are so many colors and so many different people. And everybody was waving their own different flag, or they were wearing a cape, or they were you know, dancing, and I just it kind of dawned on me that, if I thought this was such a beautiful thing, then why did I not think I was a beautiful thing? Why did I call myself a freak instead of a rarity? Somebody in the parade gave me a bracelet, and I still wear it. It says Pride on it. I haven't taken it off, but because that day I made a promise to myself. I made a promise that I was not going to let anybody else decide who I was or what I should be. I was going to take every expectation that people had of me and throw it away, just ignore it. How I should dress, how I should wear my hair, how I should act or speak, gender roles as a whole, and just ignore them. I made a promise to be unapologetically myself. To me, that's what bravery means. It's to be yourself in front of everyone. And when they make you a target, you laugh. Because you have to have faith that things are going to work out and that you're great. And to be a rarity, not a freak. I heard God again recently, actually. I love the stars, so I was sitting outside at night, and I decided on a whim to ask to the grass, the sky, no one at all, are you listening, God? And I got an answer. Be the stars, Orion, is what they said. Be the stars. And that's what I'm going to do.